Say it with me, Jim. Manny Machado is a Padre for life, which is an incredible thing to say. Welcome in, Padres fans. It's the wrap-up show. Jon and Jim with you. It is Sunday night, and we're with you as long as you want to hang out. What a monumental day in Padres history. Reportedly, 11 years, $350 million, which is a number we had been circling literally for weeks and weeks, if not months and months. When Peter Seidler says he's got a top priority, he takes care of it. That's what happened. Manny Machado will hopefully retire as a San Diego Padre on his way for Cooperstown over a decade from now. So Jon and Jim with you. Please subscribe, all right? We've got year-round Padres content for you for nights like this, which is like as special as they come. Please smash the like button for us. Please follow us on Twitter at Jon Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Please support this channel. We're going to tell you about something we want to share later on tonight about what's going on with this channel and a way to support us. But please support with the super chats. Great way to support this channel. We get to all of the supers. There's a $sign below the chat box. If you want to contribute, we get to all the supers. If you want to become a member, as 2023 is here, you can click the join button as well. But Jim, you slept through it, literally. It's like the 10th consecutive big Padres news item that you slept through. I sent Jim, I'm not kidding, I sent Jim probably 12, 13 texts this morning.
Let's read them, right?
9:58. Well, read what you can read. At 9:58, you replied.
All right, I'm going back.
What time was my first text? I waited to text you probably 20 minutes.
What time did you wake up this morning, by the way?
I was up, but I missed it by like 8 minutes. I was away from my phone for like 10 minutes, and then like people were freaking out.
All right. You sent me a text at 7:40 a.m.
Yeah, it happened by 7:20, I'd say.
You said, "Wake the F up. Wake up, Jim. I can't believe you slept through another big event. Hilarious."
And I wouldn't tell him what it was.
Plus, I'm not telling you what it is, so I know you'll freak until you go on your phone or Twitter. I want to keep texting you so it says you have a million messages. You're probably like kissing each other in bed or something. Wake up, be a man.
Yeah, you and relationship girl? Yeah. Like, stop like making out. Like, we have real news.
Okay.
So you got to share the thing about relationship girl, which is like the funniest part of this whole thing, right?
So we were me and you were up late last night. First of all, the Aztecs had like the most incredible win of the season.
How about this weekend? Yeah, how many San Diego weekends have been like this?
Not many. And the last one I can remember was obviously the Dodger weekend, but this
that was amazing.
Yeah. And then the Mets and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But last night we were working on something very special that we're gonna debut here in a bit. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm just gonna put my phone down. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
We were planning on having a wrap-up show tonight anyway, regardless of what happened today.
You and I were up after 2 a.m. We were working on stuff past 2 a.m. last night.
Very late. So I'm like, I can sleep in. It's a Sunday. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
And I wake up, my phone has 50 plus text messages on it, right? And I go to Twitter, and the first thing I see is like a picture of Peter Seidler, and I'm like, oh my God, they just signed Manny Machado. And of course I looked through it all.
But the amazing thing is, your first text back to me had nothing to do with Machado. So there were other texts in there, and you're like, what's the deal with this tweet? And then your next tweet, like a couple minutes later, like, oh my God, what did I miss?
So you text me about something. I responded to that, and it had nothing to do with Manny. Yeah. Because at the time, I didn't read. I read the first text.
The first one that popped up.
The first one that popped up, which was the last one you sent me. So I didn't read the like 12 other ones before that. So I didn't know what the fuck's going on. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I scroll up a little bit, I text you, what is happening? And I go to Twitter, and I immediately text back, holy shit. It was like, they just, what? And what it happened at when? And so I'm legitimately 3 hours late to this thing.
Yes.
And as soon as I like look at all my notifications on Twitter, hundreds of just notifications of wake up, Jim, why aren't you awake? Jim, what's going on? Wake up. And you even texted our boss. You guys had like a bet on when I'd wake up.
Yeah, he had texted us, and then I'm like, Jim's not awake, and I'm at breakfast. So what did we say? I think I said 10:10, and Brian took the over later than 10:10. Maybe
I texted that group chat back exactly at 10:10, and I said Jon won.
Exactly.
So okay, so all that happening, right? It's now I'm going into full like work mode. I making stuff to post on social and for wrap up show and everything. And a relationship girl, Erin, walks in the room, and I go, babe, I'm going to have to be working for a little while. Manny Machado just signed with the Padres. And she goes, oh, yeah, I saw that a couple hours ago. I didn't want to wake you up, though. And I look at her and I go, wait, what?
Like, that's like literally a reason to like pound on your chest.
She, like, to her credit, though, she was very sweet. She's like, I thought you wanted to sleep. Like, I didn't want to wake you up. You were up late. I wanted you to sleep. And I'm like, what? Thinking to myself, oh my, what? So anyway, yeah, I completely missed the Manny Machado stuff. I was legitimately 3 hours late to it. No shame whatsoever. Because honestly, we were working on something pretty big last night, I feel like. And I'm okay with sleeping in this morning. I'm fine with it. And look, if Manny Machado has to sign an 11-year, $350 million contract and I have to miss it, so be it.
Well, here's the thing. You have to miss the press conference. It'll occur in Peoria. Nobody wants you there because of what you've already ruined for this franchise previously. A couple of things. We're going to get to all the supers. So thank you, guys. I was just getting through some of these comments. Ben literally did a show talking Friars on YouTube before Jim was even
everybody
awake.
Did a show. Literally, everybody did a show or a reaction before I was even up. And
but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we do.
Like, hey, Preeter, AJ, can you maybe sign Manny Machado at, like, I don't know, when he's like, it'd be cool if he signed at like 3 p.m. on a Monday. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's not how they operate. But we do a lot of nighttime shows. So everyone's had a chance to react to the breaking news. This isn't breaking news. This is about what does this mean now for you as a Padres fan? What does this mean for the organization? Like I said, we're going to get to all these supers in just a moment. Thank you for your support of the channel. As you get in, you have to subscribe. That's all we ask. You have to subscribe. We have year-round Padres content for you. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter.
If you're new here, subscribe. I said, if you're new here, because we're probably getting a bunch of new people too, just hit the subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it.
A couple of things. This is an 11-year deal, as we know, $350 million. There are no opt-outs. There is a full no-trade clause. You've got Machado, Tatis, Bogarts for forever, okay? You've got Machado, Tatis, Bogarts until they likely retire. The next shoe to drop, so to speak, maybe is Juan Soto. How could you possibly put anything past Peter Seidler? How many times have we said recently, Jim, ownership matters? It's proven time and time again by Peter Seidler. Deadlines do not matter. Ownership matters. The Padres have committed to Manny Machado the last 4 years. He believed in that vision and that commitment, and he's going to be a Padre for a very long time. And I saw people tweeting about this earlier today.
Oh, I didn't.
What's that?
I'm just looking at these messages. Jim saw the news and went back to sleep.
But think about this, like 500 home runs could happen in the Padres uniform of Petco. But we're on the road. 3,000 hits could happen in the Padres uniform of Petco. World Series title could happen in the Padres uniform. MVP season could happen in the Padres uniform. Like those are all the things we can look forward to, hopefully, over the next decade plus.
This is, something that you look at and say, this is a time in Padres history that we're lucky to be a part of. Because if you were born 10 years after this, it's like, oh, that sucks. Because you don't know when this period of time is going to happen again. And Peter Seidler, he said it on San Diego Sports 760 with Darren a couple years ago that he believed that this was going to be the decade of the Padres. And right now you have Manny Machado locked up for the decade. You have Xander Bogaerts locked up for the decade. You have Fernando Tatis locked up for the decade. You have Joe Musgrove locked up for the next 5 years. You have Yu Darvish locked up for the next 5 years. Jake Cronenworth doesn't become an unrestricted free agent until 2026. Bob Melvin eventually will get a contract extension with the Padres, and he's one of the best managers in all of baseball. You have a GM who's going to go out and do everything he possibly can to make this team as good as it can be. And you have an owner who will spend every single second of the day on trying to make this team a world champion. And it's not just all 1 year, $50 million deals. These are like, hey, Manny Machado is going to be a Padre forever. Manny said it today. He wants to go into Cooperstown with the Padres hat on. All these players, we could potentially be watching in their primes, right? All these players be Hall of Fame players. We talk about, hey, when's the next Hall of Famer for the Padres after Trevor Hoffman went into the Hall of Fame? Well, you got potentially 3 or 4 on this team right now.
Well, certainly it starts with Machado, right? It starts with
Right.
Machado. Soto's so young. If Soto stays here, absolutely could be a Hall of Famer. Juriano, Tatis because of the PEDs and what that means in the sport. And Bogarts has a long way to go. But you're right. I mean, you're talking about multiple players right now on the Padres that could be heading for Cooperstown at some point in the next decade plus. Let's get to the supers. Okay. I want to spend time and thank those that contribute to this channel, like Jared McCarthy, who is a loyal viewer and member, who says today was a great day for San Diego. It's been a great weekend. We talked about it last night with the Aztecs, if you're a fan. Followed up less than 12 hours later by Jeff Passan's tweet heard around Major League Baseball. And again,
Except for me.
right, the haves and the have-nots, the separation between the Padres and other quote-unquote small markets, again proven and on display here today when Jeff Passan sent out that tweet at 7 in the morning or whatever time it was. An amazing day, Jared, an amazing day for San Diego. So thank you so much again for contributing. Thank you so much for the super. I want to thank as well Vector53, loyal viewer who's here with us tonight as well. As it's time to dial it in and get that chip now. I mean, everything is heading in that direction, Jim. I mean, now you've extended out your window. We don't know about Soto, but you've got Machado and Soto now for each of the next 2 years together. We didn't have that heading into today. We have that now. We're in a window in time that the Padres have put themselves in a position to hopefully do something they've never done before.
I feel pretty confident in saying that, the first time the Padres win a championship, Manny Machado will be a part of the team. And you couldn't say that before this morning. Like the Padres, it would definitively have to be this year. Like this year they have to win. And look, if you're telling me that they don't win a World Series in the next 11 seasons, I mean, I don't know if I could believe you, just because I think that the way that they're trending and the amount of talent on this team, doesn't it feel like it's hard to envision them not winning one with the amount of talent they have? I know it's very hard,
Right.
but it's just like,
it's hard. I mean, Yankees have invested like this since 2009. They haven't won a World Series. Atlanta had that 15-year run when they did win one.
That's the thing, though.
Dodgers had a 15-year run where they got one, fake one.
The Phillies had that run the Phillies had that run in the late 2000s.
08, 09, 10, 11.
They won one. The Yankees had a run and they won one. The Dodgers have that fake one, but they still have one. The Braves have one. The Astros have a couple, but you get my point. It's like, it's hard for me to envision them not winning a World Series in the next 11 years, which is how long Manny Machado will be here for.
I look at it more like they got to do it in the next handful, right? Because you're not going to be looking at. I don't think you're looking at season 9 when Bogarts is, I'm making up, 39 and Machado's 39, and even you get my point. But if you can do it in these next 5 years, and there's no reason to think they can't. And again, this is all because of Peter Seidler. I mean, AJ Preller's done some good work, but this doesn't happen without Peter Seidler.
I'd said today, Peter Seidler will go down right now as the best closer in baseball history. Has any owner, for what they're dealing with, and they're not on the I'm not talking about the Steinbrenners.
Yeah, I was going to say like George Steinbrenner, but
it's different. Steinbrenner's in New York, the Yankees. It was a different time, and it's not like Hank Steinbrenner did it with the Kansas City Royals, right? Or the Oakland A's, even though the Oakland A's were good in the 80s. But still, you get my point. Where he is at, getting the amount of talent on this team for these big time contracts, dude, how can you not argue he's the best closer in the sport?
But is it sustainable? Well, guess what? They just sustained it. They just sustained it. So you've got 5 core players for 5+ years in Darvish and Musgrove and Machado and Tatis and Bogart. So I mean, they just sustained it. I mean, that conversation should be over and done with. Like, that's mute.
Yeah. They believe in that this core of the team, right? Manny, Bogarts, Musgrove, Tatis, Darvish. We'll see about Soto, but like those 4 dudes right there, 5 guys, like, hey, that's a pretty damn good core to have for the next 5 years.
I'd be surprised if Soto doesn't stay.
At
That's
this
just how I
point,
feel. I mean,
if
I'd be
Seidler wants him,
yeah.
he's going to get him.
Now, the Ohtani thing, and Bob Nightingale reported today, now Bob Nightingale gets 85% of his tweets wrong, but he said today that, this puts the Padres once again in pursuit of a Soto extension, and they will make a run for Shohei Ohtani. That's what Bob Nightingale, paraphrasing, said today. Jared, thank you for the super. Thank you again
Thanks, man.
for supporting this channel. He says, so basically at this point, with this team, we only need to sign Ohtani for pitching. Listen, it's crazy to even imagine that a team could have all these players and then you could add Shohei Ohtani to it. But again, we're talking about Peter Seidler in this unprecedented era of Padres baseball. And you're talking about a player that's playing on the West Coast, that has a desire to play out West, that's likely leaving Anaheim. So, I mean, the Padres are going to be a player. We've heard people say that. Chelsea Janes, Bob Nightingale. Doesn't mean they're going to land them, but it sounds like they will make a run. As amazing it is to say, and with still 6 months to go until they can, it sounds like they may indeed make a run for Shohei Ohtani. Incredibly.
Yeah. Do you think that regardless of what happens after this year, say they win a World Series, do you think they pursue Ohtani hard?
Yeah, I think either way. I think if you win a World Series, it maybe puts you even more willing to go down that route, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose a World Series, well, you could argue that he's the difference maybe between winning and losing a World Series.
But yeah, I mean, the Ohtani stuff is down the road. The main thing is like Manny Machado, who had this deadline, right? And what did we say? We both said this is how negotiations work, not to overreact, not to freak out. And this is how things are done. Relax. There was nothing about there's nothing about the deadline or the first initial offer to Manny that was going to ruin this from happening. Once Peter Seidler said he is my number one priority, I think at that point in time, everybody and most people should have been like, yeah, it's happening. And it did. And even before that, it's like, okay, everybody relax, take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. And look what happened. Everything's okay. They got Manny deal done. Everything's fine. He's a Padre for life.
Yeah, I said the day, and you said something similar both on air and maybe on social. I said the day that he announced to the media he was opting out. That doesn't change the Padres' desire to keep him.
No.
And it's amazing how quickly this came to fruition. I mean, Peter Seidler literally tells the media on Tuesday, my top priority is Manny Machado right now. And by the end of the week, he signs him to the fourth largest contract in the history of baseball. I mean, yeah. What?
Well,
that happened in 4 days.
Like, it's just continuously what we have said since the last week when we first started talking about this. We were I feel like pretty level about this thing. No one was overreacting because there was no need to overreact.
Right.
Until there got to a point where it never got to, which was definitively this is ugly and the Padres are moving off of this. And, it just was something that Peter Seidler wanted to get done and he got it done. And he's the ultimate closer in baseball right now.
All right. I do want to thank Arthur for his support of this channel with the super chat. If you want to contribute and get a comment in tonight, you can click the $sign below the chat box. Great way to support this channel. We'll tell you about something new we've been working on as well coming up in a moment. Arthur says, wonder how Mad Dog is feeling right now. He went on that ridiculous rant about Manny Machado not being like a top 5 or top 10 baseball. He had no evidence to really support it. He sounded like someone that has never watched a Padres game.
He hasn't
over the last 4 years because he doesn't. Exactly. Because he has a producer put in front of him the Padres score and Manny Machado at 2 hits or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, the funny thing is he can get away with it. And he's going to make more this year than I'll probably make in my career. And it's almost like it's a business of that. It's a business of being stupid or a business of a dumb hot take. And you have Padres fans obviously commenting on things he says. And he doesn't, you know what? Arthur, I'm with you. He should feel like an idiot, but at the end of the day, he gets a check every 2 weeks. That's probably larger than the ones that, me and Jim are receiving. So I don't know. He probably sleeps pretty well at night, sadly.
The only reason why he is on Major League Baseball Network and First Take and every other show, Sirius XM show, whatever you want to do, is because his name is Chris Russo. And he is way past his time. His name is the only reason why he has these opportunities, because his takes are shit.
Yeah, for being a baseball like only host at this point on MLB Network, like he's got some really off the wall baseball takes. Like you just have to listen for 90 seconds and be like, oh, he doesn't watch. Which doesn't surprise me. If you're based in New York, you're not watching the Padres. Unless you're a Padres fan.
No. And if his name was Joe Smith, he doesn't have that job, but he's Chris Mad Dog Russo. And he was great back in the day. Right. But
yeah, I mean, it's like the birthplace of sports talk radio. So yeah, I mean, he's been
beyond past his time. And the only reason why he has these gigs is because of his name. And that's it. Not because he's he has good takes. And he's compelling because he gets everything wrong. And he's compelling because I'm not going to say he's Skip Bayless because Skip is the worst, but
he's not Skip Bayless.
But he has these takes that are just like, hey, buddy, it's 2023, not 1980.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, let's share what we've been talking about briefly here.
We do a drum roll.
Okay, a little bit of a drum roll. So last night we were up till 2 a.m. because we were finalizing some stuff we've been working on because we have dropped new merch.
Oh,
which includes what's that in the middle, Jim?
That's the back of my head.
It is the back of Jim's head. You have been asking for the back of Jim's head. I just put a link in the chat for the new merch drop. Okay, so we decided to take some of the catchphrases and fun things that our wrap-up show audience is pretty familiar with, probably if you've been watching or listening to Jon and Jim. And we got a whole plethora of new designs, including literally the back of Jim's head, which kind of made the radio show within the last handful of months. If you're an Aztec fan and you follow me on Twitter, you know about Catapult U, which we have in there as well. But is that good? Jim's an idiot, which basically everyone has to have, I feel like. It's like a rite of passage.
I even want that shirt.
I know, dude. So do I. Let me actually, what I want to do real quick is pull that down. And I want to show the website real quick because we've been working on this. We wanted to share it with you guys. You guys have been unbelievable to this channel, supporting.
We've had merch. We've had merch, but we've updated things. And so we had to update everything. And so we just said, let's just go a full send and just like make all this stuff.
You can see this on the screen, right, Jim?
Yeah.
All right. This is the Jim Gets in the Way t-shirt, the prize of this 2023 merch drop. We've got a Source t-shirt. Source? Again, if you're an Aztec fan, if you follow me on social media, Catapult U. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Okay, Jim forced this one through. I was like, I'm going to be full transparency. I'm like, this is stupid. Jim's like, no, we're putting it up there. Hey, did you know I used to work in minor league baseball? John Schaefer.
I had to do it.
He had to do that. We've got new wrap-up show logo caps, and some other merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Jon and Jim, obviously, which is also a fresh new logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Big If True.
Big If True. I saw someone in the chat say I like that shirt.
And then we have Is That Good?
Is That Good shirt? Yeah, that's another one.
And most people either hate when we say that or like when we say that. So that's why we have a shirt. And then this is the thing I say more than anything, including like I love you, Jones, at the end of the day.
You say this more than you say your wife's name.
Correct. Jim's an idiot. Again, if you like this channel, if you like the stuff we do day in and day out, we really do appreciate your support. If you want to rock it at Petco or around San Diego, we're looking forward to getting some of this gear that you'll see us wearing on the wrap-up show. You'll see us wearing when we have video of Jon and Jim on the radio as well. So I just put a link in the chat. And by the way, through tomorrow, there's a 15% off everything code. I think you click redeem right here at the top of the screen. So thank you for your support in advance. We'll be promoting some of the stuff throughout the course of the season, and we look forward to seeing some of you guys wearing this out at the ballpark this year.
Yeah, I'm getting I'm getting all these shirts. I need to
This is basically a venture that's going to cost us like $5,000 because we're going to buy everything.
I have a feeling the next time we talk to Ben Fadden, he's going to be wearing a Jim's an Idiot t-shirt.
Yeah, I have that feeling as well.
Yeah,
I have that feeling as well.
Yeah, so there we go. So there we go, everybody. Right. I also put it on, if you're on Twitter as well, make sure to make sure to follow at Jon and Jim on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at Jon and Jim. Merch links will be there. It's just we had merch. We've had merch for a while now, and
probably a year.
Yeah, about over a year, and we just updated things and said let's just go full in. And we actually had some people last night saying that we need to make a Jon and Jim back of the head shirt. So,
and we're like, we have to do this. We've been talking about this for ever since you ruined Bogarts' press conference. So yeah. Somebody ship that t-shirt to the clubhouse and send it to Xander Bogaerts.
Yes.
Michael, thank you for your support of the channel. Thank you for the super chat. Michael's been with us since day one. And back to this Manny Machado contract, 11 years, 350. He says it shows the commitment Peter wants to win it all. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. I mean, if they don't win a World Series now or in the future during Peter's tenure, it's not because he wasn't committed. There's never been an owner in this city committed to winning like Peter Seidler. And there's been very few owners in recent sports, history that are committed like this. I mean, I guess I'm sure there's a few other across the other major sports, but this is an aberration. Most of the owners are not like Peter Seidler. We are fortunate to be following the Padres and rooting for this team in this time because we know about previous owners and we don't know about future owners, but we know about Peter Seidler, and he is committed to winning.
Yep. He is definitely an owner in baseball that if you're a Padres fan, you want him as the owner, like 100%. And there's not a bad word to say about him because he has done everything he possibly can. Doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I just feel like it's gonna. Peter Seidler is such a positive person. We met him a couple times. He's just like so up, and there's never a I don't know this is gonna happen. Even if the team when the team was shit in 2021 down the stretch, like Peter Seidler was still very positive. Remember when he?
Remember he said it was like a 1 in 100-year collapse, and I was like, I hope you're right.
And he talked to Marty, and it was like, I firmly believe in everything we're doing. I believe in AJ Preller. I believe in all of it. I believe. And it still hasn't happened yet, but you just feel like it's getting closer and closer and closer.
A couple of things. I don't know if he's still in the chat. We're going to tell you about Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor, in a moment. Mark is a huge Padres fan. He's the reason we got this channel off the ground. He's a huge supporter of this channel. If you have insurance needs, we're going to tell you about Mark coming up in a moment. Mark, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your support. I think there's some people talking about the merch, saying game changer.
I saw someone in the chat, and they had a great idea.
Okay.
And John, you're going to hate me because I've been making John do like all this stuff.
Yes, you have.
Someone said, neon wrap-up show shirt.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Well, you design it. I'll put it up.
I'll design it. We'll put it up.
I love that. I love this idea, Johnny.
John and Talking Friars shirt.
That is hilarious. This is interesting, Vector. I mean, we didn't really think about that.
No.
No.
The only way that shirt will be made is if Ohtani signs here.
Right.
Then it's being made.
Is that good? Love. Jim's head t-shirt will be in the cart ASAP.
Yeah, is that good?
Oh yeah, remember when I said we would sacrifice Ben for a World Series title?
I'm like, yeah, just kill Ben.
Right. All right, let me get to another super here. Thank you, Faye, for your support. Love the brown shirts. It'll look so sexy with my brown and yellow hat. There we go. Love it, Faye. Thank you again. If you guys are picking something up, click the redeem code at the top, 15% off, I think through tomorrow. So if you're watching live or on replay, please check it out. You'll get 15% off as well. You'll have it in plenty of time before the regular season starts in March. All right, Jared says, Jared, thanks again, man. He says, where's the Richard Simmons shirt? What was the Richard Simmons?
Because we kept getting spammed by this fake Richard Simmons account.
That was like the worst.
Remember if you know, you know.
Remember how nervous, how annoying that was?
We didn't know how to make mods, and we're like, I'm constantly blocking this fake thing, and I'm just like, ridiculous.
Jared was a big reason why that ended. Because Jared's a mod, and we have a couple of others that helped us out with that.
Which one's your favorite? Which guys, put it here in the chat.
Yeah.
What is your favorite shirt so far of just this right here?
And I agree with Sean. The old merch, and that was, by the way, my kind of first crack at it, because the old stuff was just branding, like wrap-up show, Jon and Jim. Now it's like catchphrases.
Yeah.
And Jim's
so,
head.
In my head. So definitely, which one's your guys' favorite? Let us know. And then,
this is smart. This is smart.
Ooh,
Ooh,
dude,
that is so freaking smart. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, we have many ideas, and of course, this is Jim's head. Ben's favorite's Jim's an idiot shirt.
So good.
Jim's an idiot. Jim's an idiot.
Amazing.
Jim's head.
This is so good.
Big if true. We had to get some Aztec flavor in here as well. Source is
100%.
Jim's an idiot. Is that good shirt? Jim's an idiot because it's said literally every stream.
It really is.
That's why, yeah. Jim's head.
Oh, dude. How about this is such a hold on, let me click on one. Emilio Pagan's iPad cases.
Oh, man, if you know, you know.
Night.
That's a long time listener.
That was
right
before YouTube. That was when we were on the radio doing wrap-up shows, 2020 or 2021. 2021.
Johnny, I got this at Petco Park like 4 years ago. So it's the old,
that thing's dope.
It's the old like 80s logo, or so I forget. Yeah. It's an old, it's one of the old logos. But I got it like 4 years ago.
It's a good question from Sam. Not about are you going to ruin the presser? We're not going to be in Peoria. I mean, I don't think.
Not for the
But when is this going to be? Well, it's still reported at this point. They haven't announced it on social media or sent out a release. And I would think once it's announced, maybe that day or the next day. But I don't know when he leaves for the WBC, Jim. But it's going to be before he leaves for the WBC. So, it's coming soon. I mean, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Or is it Wednesday? I mean, it's definitely coming. Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, he even talked about it today. He's like, "Yeah, I'm glad that I'm going to be here for life, and I can hopefully, next stop, Hall of Fame."
Yeah, now hopefully before the Hall of Fame again, I'd like to see him notch that World Series like everyone would. Would love to see him pick up an MVP. Would love to see him get to 3,000 hits. Would love to see him hit 500 home runs. Like those are amazing milestones. He's about to become the most prolific home run hitter in the history of the franchise. I think he's within 50 or 60 of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do stuff that people don't do in a Padres uniform. I mean, other than like Tony Gwynn, So this is rarefied air. This is rarefied air.
It is. And it's just like, if you're a Padres fan, we're just like, wait, this is real? That's what we keep asking. If you're like, this is really happening? Like right. Today, they beat the living shit out of the Diamondbacks with pretty much close to their A team. And you're like, this could be happening a lot this year.
Yeah, but they left the bases loaded in the second after scoring 9 runs.
That's
gotta get those runs in.
That's a problem. They
scored 9 runs in the inning.
Yeah,
but you were hoping for 10 in that spot.
Yeah, 10 runs or didn't count.
There's not a lot to take away from spring training other than the fact that you want everyone healthy. Juan Soto's hitting 800. I know it's like 2 games. I think he's 4 for 5. But yeah, I mean, Soto's been good. Machado's been good. Grisham's been good. Everyone's been good. I mean, they scored 18 runs today. So it's good. It's really good. Let's get back to the Supers. Again, if you want to support this channel, please subscribe. We have year-round Padres content for you. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you want to contribute with the Super, which is a great way to support, click the $sign below the chat box. You become a member by clicking the join button down below. Ben says, if the Padres win the World Series, I think Jim needs to wear the Jim's Head shirt at the victory presser. Deal.
1,000%.
That or like parade, right, Ben?
1,000%. I already have a special Jim's Back Head t-shirt that's going to be a 1 of 1, and I will 100% wear that.
A 1 of 1. Wow, it's like an NFT, an NFT t-shirt. Real life NFT. I know.
I've showed you. Hold on, let me pull it up. Should I wait?
Yeah.
It's just
wait on it.
Yeah, I won't put it out there. I don't want to be. Yeah, but it's a 1 of 1. It's we have plans. But yes, I will 100% wear that shirt to a parade or the press con, wherever it is. I will be there with that shirt.
Love it. Okay, I told you that we can't even do this channel without the support of Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. So thank you, Mark, who's been hanging out tonight. Huge Padres fan, San Diegan, supporter of this channel. I've got my homeowners and my earthquake insurance through Mark. He saved my family thousands of dollars last year when we had a claim in here because of some flooding. Amazing insurance agent with great service. There's a link to his website down below. Before you renew, the next time you have an insurance renewal, get in contact with Mark. He'll talk to you about the Padres. He'll save you up to $750 or more just by switching to him. Auto, home, renters, life, earthquake, condo, whatever it is. Earthquake, like I just said, $750 or more. He's a San Diegan. He supports this channel. If you support local businesses, please support Mark Nimitz. And again, the next time you have a renewal for insurance, before you just check renew or send it back in the mail, call Mark. He will save you money.
Yeah, go there right now. Check him out. If you have any insurance needs, reach out to him. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. Out to him. Let him know that Jon and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2022 vibes. By the way, I think your internet's kind of struggling a little bit tonight. Maybe it's mine, but every once in a while you're like cutting out, just like your audio.
I've been fine over here.
But this does bring, man, Jim's Wi-Fi. Don't get me started. I wanted to kill Jim like 400 times because of his Wi-Fi.
We didn't have the capacity to like even make solid merchandise then because all we were doing is trying to fix my internet.
Right. Can I have 60 seconds on the Aztecs? I know it's a Padres channel. We never, ever, ever do it. But for San Diegans to support both the Aztecs and the Padres, this weekend has been really special. And if you just support the Padres, it's also been really special because the Machado contract is a life-changing contract for Padres fans and, again, changes the organization for the next decade plus. But the way San Diego State won a share of a Mountain West title last night, and if you didn't see it because you're not a fan or you've been living under a rock, on a three-pointer at the buzzer at the pit, New Mexico, to win the title was just incredible. I mean, it was literally incredible. One of the great endings in Aztec basketball history, especially with what was on the line. Kind of reminds you of Malachi Flynn a couple of years ago for the Aztecs against San Jose State. But, I mean, what a 12 hours, Jim. It was 12 hours from the shot at the pit to the Machado reported signing. I think that happened in less than 12 hours, maybe 10 or 12 hours. Amazing.
I mean, watching that game, it was like, oh, no. Oh my God. Yeah. It was just boom, boom. And that was such a cold-blooded shot by Butler where pulls up three, defender on his back foot. As time expires, buzzer sounds, ball in the bottom of the net, and Butler just turns around. And you're just like, holy shit.
It was amazing. Thank you guys allowing us to talk about that for 60 seconds. We know you're here for the Padres content. So Sam
we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about Machado and we'll talk some Aztecs tomorrow as well. We'll see if Lamont Butler, stay tuned. He might be on the show tomorrow on Jon and Jim. Also, Chelsea Janes, Washington Post will be with us next week, either tomorrow or on Tuesday. We'll have someone from ESPN, hopefully tomorrow as well, to break down this Machado signing. So join us on the radio every weekday, 3 to 6, San Diego Sports 760, iHeart Radio app. Sam, thank you for the super. He says, is Grish back or is it too early to get my hopes up? The latter. The latter. It is too early to get your hopes up. Nothing that can possibly happen in spring training is a guarantee to carry over into the regular season, and it's been like a day. Right. You'd prefer him hit than not hit, don't get me wrong, but I read nothing into it personally.
And here's the thing with Grisham. We talked about it. Like, there is no pressure on him. What pressure does he have?
That's a great point.
He should have none, you know? And he hit 187 last year, I believe it was. 180 last year. And I'm not saying he had any pressure last year, but he didn't have a lineup with Bogarts in it. He didn't have a lineup with Soto in it for a full year. He didn't have a lineup with Fernando Tatis Jr. in it. And, you know, maybe he felt a little more pressure to do something, but he's got no pressure on him.
Right.
And I think with the amount of veterans on this team, you got to remember, Trent Grisham's still a pretty young player. He's not some like veteran guy that's been in the league for 10 plus years.
Sure.
So having Nelson Cruz around, having Matt Carpenter around, who has worked with Trent Grisham in the offseason, you know, having Xander Bogaerts there and having Soto for a full offseason, Manny, like, no pressure on Grisham. If he hits 230 this year, that is a massive improvement. And I would take that right now.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, he's got to be better, I think. And again, not because they don't have enough to get by without him being better, but he has to be better, like for his own sake. If he's going to be with this organization, you can't hit a buck 87. I mean, even if you're Gold Glove caliber, you cannot hit a buck 87. Here's where my mind immediately went after the Machado deal. Obviously, to Peter Seidler and his ability to get this done. I don't know if you read Dennis Lin tonight, but Dennis said there was disagreement. I'm paraphrasing. There was disagreement in the front office about giving Machado this long of a deal, but Peter Seidler vetoed all that because it was his top priority. This was his goal. You know, he's not thinking about age 41 either. He said, all that be damned. And by the way, the AAV doesn't even change. So for all this, they've blown through the CBT. What kind of money are they going to have? Nothing changed. It goes up $1.8 million. So literally nothing changed for the Padres moving forward. But my mind immediately goes to Juan Soto, who's making $23 million this year. He'll make $30 million next year in arbitration, roughly. And you're thinking, well, this was a $350 million deal. The Soto deal is going to be even larger. He's only going to be 26 years of age, even if he hits free agency. There's no scenario where he doesn't get $400 million. There are scenarios where he gets $500 million plus. I think we've had people come on and say he might get $600 million. So that's where my mind went initially, Jim. What does it mean for Juan Soto? And how dare we even question the idea of Peter Seidler not being able to pull it off? Now, I don't know about a timeline, but nothing surprises me anymore with Peter Seidler.
Yeah, you can't question him at all. And with the thing about Peter Seidler is if you want something, he's going to get it. And I'm sure there's disagreement in the club, in the front office about giving Manny Machado that big of a contract. But I do think that's a good thing to have disagreement because you never want to have everybody be a yes man, right? No one wants that.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing. And I'm sure Peter heard all of the pros and especially all of the cons about doing this. It's need to believe and think that Manny's swing could not age gracefully. His body might. He might not be the third baseman he is now or even 4 years ago. But I think that bat is going to play very well into his late 30s.
I agree with you. His bat will play. There's no question his bat will play. There's no question. Like you said, is he going to be the same defender? I have no idea. His bat will play. I don't know about 11 years, but it will play for a long time. It's not going anywhere. Can we give a shout out here to our buddy Rome Loves Dan, who purchased the Jim's Head t-shirt? Clap emoji in the chat for Rome Loves Dan. Thank you.
Love it. I'm buying all these shirts as well. Like we're gonna be broke.
We're gonna be broke because we came out with a t-shirt line. I told you.
And tonight and through tomorrow, 15% off new merch. So yeah, you get 15% off new merch. Go check it out right now and order it through tomorrow. I put links out on Twitter. I put out Instagram, and so if you're wondering where to do it, also John put a post in there in the chat. I'm sure there's a post in our About Me for our wrap-up show. On our YouTube channel. So
good night, Andrew. Thanks for hanging out.
Have a good one,
support of the channel. Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
So you want your thoughts on Soto just in general, what this looks like? I mean, do you think this gets serious next offseason heading into 2024? We're still a year before he's a free agent. Like, is this something that could get done even before then? I mean, I feel, if nothing else, I feel better about Juan Soto's future than I felt, a day ago.
The only question with Juan Soto I have with him is, does he want to be here long term? Manny wanted to be here long term. Manny had the relationship with Seidler and Preller and the city and the fans, and he wanted to be here long term. I don't know if I could say the same thing yet about Juan Soto. Like, I don't know if I can say that he absolutely loves Peter Seidler and loves this city. I'm not saying he doesn't like it. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could say he has the same desire as Manny at this point in time. Obviously that could all change because there's still 2 years left of Juan Soto here. It could all change. But at this point in time, I don't know if I could say that about him like we did about Manny Machado.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. And also, if I'm Juan Soto I think I'm betting on myself as a 24-year-old with 2 years before free agency, considering the
Yeah.
career numbers I put up. So
Manny's 30,
yeah,
24.
you're
It's totally different.
24. And if you have an MVP caliber year, forget about winning it, but you're top 10 MVP voting, you've only enhanced your next contract. And if he's healthy, there's no reason he's not going to be top 10 MVP caliber. He's going to get on base because that's what he does. He's going to hit better than he did a year ago because there's no shift and because he's a better hitter than what we saw for 60 games. So he's going to get a massive deal. The length, who knows? The dollars, who knows? But it's going to dwarf this Manny Machado deal wherever he
Oh,
signs, whether it's
yeah,
in San Diego or elsewhere.
it will. It will be the biggest contract in all of baseball, especially if he
Right.
wins an MVP in the next 2 seasons, or an NLCS MVP in the next 2 seasons, or a World Series MVP, or like has these crazy good years. He knows what he's doing too. He's very smart. He has the best agent in the game. And if Juan Soto, like we all think he's going to do, has a just beast of a year, it's gonna be a lot.
What do you think? Okay, if I asked you right now, Ohtani's next contract, Soto's next contract, how similar are they? AAV, overall dollars, years. I mean, Soto can get more years because of age. So he should be able to get more overall dollars, I would think, if he wanted it in terms of a long deal.
Yeah, I
But they're
think
going to be pretty similar, won't they?
around the 500 million range. I think it's going to be one. I don't think one person or the other is going to have like $100 million more on their deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated by the Ohtani contract because I don't know how long he's a two-way player and how long he can keep this up. But he certainly
The
warrants 45 plus a year, right?
What's up?
He warrants 45 million plus a year, Ohtani, I would think.
As of right now, yeah.
Yeah.
But like we said, in 5 years, is he going to be,
Even a two-way player.
even a two-way player? And that's the trickiest part with Ohtani, is that it's easy with Soto. He's a hitter. Boom. End of story. Ohtani, he gets his value. I'm not saying he can't be a $500 million player one way or the other, but no pitcher's getting $500 million, just pitcher. And no hitter. I'm not saying he's not as good as Soto, but he's also not 24 years old.
Right.
And you're not getting $500 million at your age as a hitter.
As just a hitter, no way.
So that's the problem, is like, if he stops being in the next 3-4 or is not good as he was at one of those two, that contract is going to look just really bad. I mean, if you had a pitcher that's not really good making $50 million a year, and he's a hitter, and he's not like a game, he'll get it, but it's just there is some risk there for sure. And so
there's big time. I think there's way more risk with Ohtani than there is with Soto, but there's more upside because if he does replicate these last 2 seasons, another 2, 3, 4 years, you can win a World Series or multiple with Shohei Ohtani. I mean, you put him in the right spot and he posts a sub-3 ERA and makes 25 starts, and he's a 900 OPS player offensively, and you're getting all that, then he can be the difference for a team to win the World Series. So
100%.
And teams recognize that, and he's going to get offers from the Dodgers and the Padres. Shoot, maybe the Mariners get involved in this, maybe the Yankees, maybe the Mets. I mean, there's going to be no shortage of suitors. That's for sure. Couple of other storylines. It sounds like Tatis will play Tuesday in Scottsdale against the Giants. He said today, quote unquote, he's definitely ready. So we've seen this whole weekend. We saw the Padres play Friday and lose. We saw what they did this weekend. Good pitching on Saturday, 18 runs here today. So we've seen everybody, but we haven't seen Fernando Tatis Jr. So hopefully we see Tatis finally on Tuesday. And what does he look like? What position is he playing? How long is he out there? We're going to find that out in the next 48 hours.
He is probably itching to get out there,
Oh, yeah.
dude. He is probably like, he's doing this. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I need to play. I need to play.
Especially when there's 18 runs being posted up.
Dude, they're just fucking beating the shit out of the D-backs. I mean, it was just like home run, hard hit ball, base hit, this, that, and it's only been 3 games, but it is curious to see, like, are runs going to go up in baseball with no shift and a pitch clock?
I don't know if the pitch clock's going to impact runs scored. The pitch clock is still makes me uneasy. Not as much in that second inning today when they sent 15 to the plate. It was a long inning, but
also too, you have to know that pitch clock, for everybody that's wondering, that's not going to be behind home plate during the season. It will be out of the view.
You're saying for the viewer.
For the viewer on television, that pitch clock will
but aren't they going
to
put it on the screen? Isn't Bally Sports San Diego going to put it up like they would put a shot clock in a basketball game?
That I don't know, but I know that Jeff Passan said that there will not be.
I hope
visually.
It's huge.
Visually, it will not be up there, like behind the batter's eye. So I don't know if they're going to put it on television. I hope Bally's doesn't do it. They already have 50 million fucking graphics already. That's going to confuse the hell out of people. So like, just keep it simple, stupid, and just give me the score of the inning.
Yeah, and just if there's a pitch clock, if there's a violation, just say there was an auto ball, whatever.
Right, because then you're gonna have a case of like if the viewers me watching and like challenge, like they need to challenge that the guy he got the ball. He got the
do.
I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it will be very weird. I agree with you. It'll be very weird, but hey, adapt.
Look, this is all you need to know. But this is all you need to know about the impact of the clock. So today's game had 24 runs, right? The Padres D-backs game had 24 runs scored. How long was this game? Like this game a year ago would have been like 450 in spring training. Today it was 303.
That's
you
fine.
had a 24 run.
That's awesome.
Hold on. 25 hit, 2-error game that saw, let me see how many pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the Padres. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the Diamondbacks. 16 pitchers, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Because no one pitcher can slow a game up anymore because they all have to stick to the rules of the clock.
Yeah.
303 for 24 runs. Like, I mean, that's incredible. We're not going to see a lot of 3-hour games, I guess.
The average time right now of spring training games is 2:37.
It's almost like, did they speed this thing up too much? But it's spring
last
training.
year. The average time was 3:07.
Is spring training or regular season?
Regular season.
Okay, so they've shaved 30 minutes off, but it is spring training.
Correct. Was it 2? No, I think it was 2. I think it's almost 40 minutes. It might have been 3:17.
2:27.
It might have been 2:27 average time for spring training games right now.
See, I'm with Rich. I'd make it. The clock is 15 bases empty, 15 seconds to throw a pitch from engaging or whatever it is, and then 20 seconds with the man on base. I like 20 and 25. It just makes me feel a little more easy in my stomach for these dudes. They're like, I'm like, dude, relax. Nick Martinez, like, take a deep breath. Just firing that, like, you get the ball and he threw it like immediately back. I'm like, chill. Maybe that was because it was day one.
Probably because it's day one. Can you answer this question?
Sure. Oh. It's like what is it? The Michael Jordan documentary. That one dude that was like
maybe try.
Yeah, I want to say the answer might be yes, but I can't confirm. There's probably an FAQ up there.
Try? Look for something?
Because again, this isn't something someone else obviously does this shipping for us. Hold on, let me see something. Shipping costs and shipping times. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I just don't know. I'm not sure. Can you have shipped to someone in the US and then have them ship it to you? No, I'm not sure. Orders being shipped outside the United States are subject to customs or duty fees. I think things can be shipped outside the U.S., so maybe. It might be a possibility. Like Jim said, maybe check it out, see if they'll take the address and go from there. Let's see. Country of shipping.
Try it out.
Actually, hold on. Country of shipping. I just typed in Japan. Stand by. Country of shipping, Japan.
So, yeah.
Let's see. International standard. It'll get there between March 16th and March 28th.
Okay.
And your shipping is going to be, if it's a $24.99 order, it's going to be $14.99 in shipping. If your order's less than $24.99, it's only $9.99 in
Cool.
shipping. And if you do International Express, you can have it between March 3rd and March 8th, and shipping costs start at $26 to get it to Japan. Obviously, we're talking about.
Right.
So yeah, is the answer.
This is a
pretty
good point
cool.
by Rich too. Before we get to the next super chat,
Yeah,
beer sales might go down a little bit
they're gonna
with
go way
shorter
down.
games.
I worked in the minor leagues, right?
Well, there's a shirt that said that, so
Right.
we have one now. Go to Jon and Jim merch. Go buy it right now.
When they put the pitch clock in the minors when I was there, like 15 or 16, my GM, who's not like a GM like Preller, but the guy that oversaw the operations of the franchise, would talk about length of game being a deterrent on what's it called? Per cap. So what everyone spends per game, right? So like if
Right.
there's 10,000 people in the ballpark and you get 200 grand in revenue, that's a $20 per cap. But if the game's really short, your per cap goes down from $20 to $16 because people don't have time to get up and buy food and use the restroom and buy beers because beer sales have to end. So baseball's not stupid. They realize this. I think they see it as more of a positive. The ability to shorten games to them, even if it costs them in certain sales, I think they see as advantageous. Certainly for the TV viewer would be my guess.
Dude, the amount of merch that the Padres are going to sell this year, and just the gate this year.
Yeah, but
is
what
going
about
to
like
be...
it's gonna be a joke in San Diego.
Oh my god, it's going to be stupid.
It's gonna be stupid. I saw today, was it Kevin Acee said that the Padres are projecting 44 sellouts this year. I think the franchise record is 26.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, 44, you're only playing 81 home games. And they play, 10 Wednesday games at noon or whatever time it is? So 44 is doing work.
Yeah, it is.
Like doing a lot. And they could get more than that if they
And you're going to get a
win
bunch of
100
games that's going to be close to 40, and they're going to be like 37, 38. And back in the day, like just a couple years, like before the
That'd
pandemic,
be like the biggest crowd, like
that's
30.
the biggest crowd you could get, like 39,000. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Matthew, what's up, man? Thank you for your support of this channel and for the super chat. If you want to contribute with the super, just click the $ below the chat box. Please subscribe if you're here. Year-round Padres content. Thank you for watching live or on replay. Manny Machado is a Padre for life. Incredibly. Matthew says, it's going to take me longer to commute on Coaster Trolley round trip than it takes to watch one of these spring training games. I've seen that complaint that like, hey, we're paying our money to attend these games. Do you we're not asking for these to be shortened. We could just leave the game early.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm Matthew and I go to a baseball game and they used to take 3:30, but now they're taking 2:30. Like Matthew didn't ask for the game to be shortened. I think there's people that don't like baseball. They want the games to be shortened. I'm not opposed to the, a minimal amount of shortening, but 30 plus minutes is a lot of time. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good breakdown. All right. So PR8566 wants to do the StreamYard live feature. Okay. Thank you for the super. So here's the deal. You can do that. I'll put a link right now in the chat. So PR8566, if you want to hop on with us, click that link that is in the chat down below.
If anybody wants to hop on with us, a couple more minutes here before.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Click that link. If you want to hop on, we can try to get to a few people.
Pedro, why are you always in your car?
Probably because his wife or children are sleeping.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
Where's our buddy PR?
Let's get Pedro in here to start out.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm always I'm hustling for that DoorDash. That's why I'm in my car. Yeah. But sometimes I got to switch my my kids hijack my YouTube, so I have to switch my little username. I'm not trying to be Kevin Durant or anything, but I got to say, I was one of those people that said, let Manny walk. Cause I thought, if you're a baseball fan and you watched all the, greats besides the guys that took steroids, by the time they're in their mid 30s, it's a sharp decline, but Manny has those hitting skills, those leadership skills. I would like him to be out in the community more, kind of like the ex maybe John was.
Oh, he is Pedro. He's out there a lot. He's out there a lot.
Okay, no, but you remember Tomlinson would do the turkey stuff, and then I saw Machado. He started his little foundation. That's kind of cool. But like I said, it's I'll eat crow, and then I just want one championship. That's it from Machado. And then if they get Soto and Bogarts and Tatis coming, I don't even want Ohtani. Just give me Soto, and then build around those dudes. That's like my kind of 2 cents on that. And then back to the little the pitch clock or shot clock. I was the guy that said on what was it last Thursday, Friday, where true Padre fans, they're the ones that just want to wear the merch and drink and socialize, blah blah blah. That little I don't know if you remember that. You guys get so many. It was on the radio show, but like a family of 4 or 5, they spend 4 or 5, unless you're the season ticket holders. But those guys, they probably do 1 or 2. What is the limit? Maybe 4 people max on season tickets. Do you guys know off the top, or?
I don't know, Pedro.
Not really.
So that's where I say, like, if you're a family of like 4 to 5, like 2 adults, 2, 3 kids, and then you're because I was at Lake Elsinore games with the rules were implemented, and that stuff goes fast. And if you're not like you're eating a hot dog or whatever, and you're spending like say you're on the cheap end and you spend $200 at the Padres game, parking, tickets, and everything. That's a lot of money still. And then I've even talked to the wife and all, and said we might have to like only go to 2, maybe 1 or 2 games, because it's like a big drive, and it's like a Disneyland trip or Universal Studios or San Diego. It's like if you're not single and you're just kind of going in there, I get it from the media guys that you guys.
Pedro, we got a couple more people here. So
go for it. Yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Love
man.
you, man.
Thanks, Pedro. Look who's here. Our buddy Ben.
Hello.
What's up, Ben? How you
What's
doing,
up,
man?
Ben?
I just realized that our Ben, what's going on, man?
How's everybody doing?
Great, man. What's your 2 cents on Manny?
Oh shoot, Manny. I was actually going to say something about the timing of the games. But stoked on Manny. What I liked the bravado of we're going to bring this hat into the Hall of Fame. Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of swagger that you want out of a leader on your team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you don't need somebody to feign humility. Like being humble is great, but you also want somebody that's confident. Like, this is where we're going, and this is what I bring to the table, and that's why I say that this is what my value is, because I'm going to be a Hall of Famer going into the Hall of Fame as a Padre.
No, I agree there.
So I'm super. So real quick, and then I'll hop off.
Yeah.
The timings of the game thing.
Yeah.
Remember, like, hopefully everybody remembers, just because the games are now 2 hours and 27 minutes doesn't mean that you're getting less baseball. It's not like going to a concert and you
same
only
number of outs, innings.
Same number of outs. You're just killing the dead air. I saw something on Twitter today that talked about the average baseball game being 3 hours and 3 minutes or whatever it was. 3 hours and 7 minutes. Right. Saw 18 minutes of action.
Right. It's just like it's football, same thing. It's like there's like 5 total minutes of action.
But isn't that part of like but still, you go with a buddy, you go with your child. Isn't that part of it? So you know what I mean? That you can converse.
I mean, that's fair. That is a good point in terms of like the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
As a season ticket holder who's going to 40 games a year, I don't mind it so much because I'm not missing baseball action. It does make some sense from the family perspective of the kids want to go to the park at the park, and they want to do these, go to the store and not have to miss as much action. That's a fair point, but just because the games are shorter doesn't mean we're witnessing less baseball.
That's a fair point. Yeah, it's not like it's a 7-inning game. Ben,
Thanks,
thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for the support of this channel.
Later,
Seriously,
man.
great to see you.
Yep. See ya.
Whoops. There we go.
All right. While we have a moment here, I do want to remind our viewers about our partner on the wrap-up show, Aura. If you're looking to get healthier this year, there's a company that can help you get on your way. ORA.organic. Their co-founder, Will, as we've been telling you for a better part of a year, is a huge Padres fan. San Diego, they've got offices right here in Liberty Station. All of their products are plant-based nutritional products, whether it is a probiotic, which I take every single day, or pre-workout supplements, or proteins, or omega-3 oils. You might be taking a fish oil. You can take their omega-3 oil if you want a plant-based product. They've got sleep pills and immunity pills, literally something for everyone. Amazing products. You can check them out as you watch the wrap-up show and browse. ORA.organic, affordably priced, good for you and your family, yourself, your spouse, your family. your friends. ORA.organic, local company like Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you support our channel, please support our local partners, including Aura, ORA.organic.
Yeah, go there right now to live a healthy lifestyle. If you want to get healthier, if you want to get on track, you have a trip coming up for summertime and you want to look as good as possible, take all of these products at Aura. They're all plant-based. They're all organic. They're the best on the market. Go there right now, www.aura.organic. Trust us, you will feel better about your life. You'll feel better every day. John, I think he feels better every day. The way it works with me.
I do.
So, yeah, go there right now, and you will thank us later.
All right. So Machado, a Padre,
freaking Padre forever
for life. Jim slept through it all. Historic day for Padres fans. Peter Seidler, please own the franchise for forever.
Like
Juan Soto, you're on the clock.
Just everything about today, just this weekend for San Diegans and Padres fans, and it's just like you get basically what as a fan you get to do now, and what we get to do now is go,
yeah.
And
Enjoy
there's
the ride.
really there's no free agent going into this upcoming offseason that you're like it makes you worry at night about. Josh Hader, closers you can replace closers a lot. But he's the guy that I can think of. But names, right? The Manny and the Darvish, you're like, and you can enjoy the season and not have to worry.
Right. By the way, tomorrow, Dodgers Padres.
Big game.
First time since Game 4 of the National League Division Series.
What time's that game on?
That is at noon, so it'll be over by 3.
Love it. For everyone still here, thank you. And if you haven't already, just hit the subscribe button. Just hit that like button. We're trying to get to 5K before the start of the year, opening day. So just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and and then also too, if you missed it,
show the merch.
New merch dropped.
Let me put a link in one more time. We're proud of the merch. We were up till 2 a.m. last night finishing this stuff off.
We had merch for over a year.
Yeah, it was okay.
We just kind of gave up on it, but we had it. It's not like we're, everyone's doing merch. So it's like, you guys are caught. No, everyone's doing merch, guys. Come on. And I think that everybody should buy that Back of Jim's Head shirt.
Got to.
That's a must buy. That's a must buy. Jim's an idiot.
You really are.
Yeah.
You slept through like everything this year.
Yeah, because he's freaking signing guys at like 10 a.m.
Bogarts and Manny. There's other. Darvish. No, I think you told me about Darvish.
Yeah, I did tell you about Darvish. But Darvish, I think, happened at a good time.
It did. Yeah, like 10.
I was like, oh, cool. 10 a.m. Love it.
Okay, check it out. There's a link in the chat again. 15% off your very first order. Let me get to the super from our buddy Ben, who was just on stream with us. Ben, thank you. Appreciate it. He says, dear sweet baby Jesus, please let Papa Pablo Padre set up a trust to fund the Padres in perpetuity after he departs this earth. Amen. Hallelujah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we don't know who the next owner is. We don't know what the future looks like. But right now, you can't ask for a better owner of the San Diego Padres other than Peter Seidler. I don't care who you could have. There's no one that's going to be more committed. I don't care who it is. There's nobody that would spend like this, I don't think.
The amount of incompetence before Peter got here, Padres fans deserve this. Almost every single owner that the Padres have had has been a disaster. Not everyone.
Right.
Not all. I mean, majority have been a disaster from 2010, 2009 up until when Peter took over. You're just like incompetence in there. You're like, what the is a joke.
Right.
And then Peter was obviously a part of that, but he wasn't the majority owner and the face of the franchise. Now he is.
That's a good question from Alex. What if he buys a Jim's an idiot and some random Jim thinks he's talking about him? It's a good way to get punched.
I'm getting people in.
How many people? I mean, it's got a Jon and Jim logo on it.
Yeah.
If you get punched, we take no responsibility. We're not liable.
Sorry about it.
Michael, what's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out. Longtime member, supporter, super chat contributor. Thank you, Michael. Who says now let's extend Soto or go get Ohtani. Dare we say both?
I'm already bowing down to Peter Seidler as it is, but if they get either Ohtani or extend Soto, I'm like, do whatever you want. Like, I'm literally like, I will sweep your. I don't know. I'll do anything you want. I'll literally do anything you want, Peter.
Delete your Twitter account. But I won't do that.
If he said delete your Twitter account to get Juan Soto,
you'd probably have to do it.
I'd have
if that
to
was
do
publicized, you'd probably have to do it for the
He's
franchise.
like, I told Jim Russell that he has to delete his Twitter account, and then we're paying until if that doesn't happen, we're not paying Juan Soto. If he does it, we're paying Juan Soto.
Right. I like it, Michael. Extend him out.
This is a great name, a smart Jim.
Interesting.
Wow.
Who are some of the great gyms? Thanks, Vector. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks, Faye.
Thanks. Buy it, Faye. Do we have women's sizes?
Not necessarily, but I can work on that.
We need women's, bro.
What percent of our viewers are male as opposed to female? I think actually YouTube tells us that.
Dude, your wife Kristen needs a. Hey, did you know I used to work in minor league baseball? John Schaefer T-shirt.
Does she though? She knows. Believe me, she knows I used to work in minor league baseball.
Everybody knows apparently.
Yeah, a lot of late nights.
Yep.
Hold on, real quick.
Oh, Blake Snell's a free agent. I forgot about him.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Yeah. Ow. What else you got?
I think the breakdown's about 90-10 male to female.
But still,
that's good. 10% of our viewers are females.
Select items. We'll make select items women only, or women's as well. I don't know.
All right, thanks for your 2 cents, Jim. I like it. Hey, if you want it in women's size, let me know. Put it in the chat, and we'll put a couple of those up in women's as well. I think we should. Michael, thank you again for the super. Says I would want both, but I don't want to get greedy. With Peter Seidler, you can get greedy. I feel like,
dude, he is a guy that once you think he's all in, it's like, oh, he just pulled out more chips. Like, where did these chips come from? What? He's putting more into the pot.
Right.
He still has a shit ton of chips left.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, who knows if this 273 number is a number they're not willing to go past. They might have just gone by it. We don't even know if they've gone by it. We won't know until the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
This is a good idea.
Oh.
An I Am Your Relationship Girl t-shirt with her hand.
Oh, her hand. Yes. That'd be amazing.
If you know, you know.
We got to get that in City Connect colors. We need a City Connect shirt.
Dude, we just have.
I love that idea.
We have to figure out which one we're going to do. Which City Connect shirt do you want?
Big if true booty shorts, please. What? Yeah, what would you want in City Connect colors? Probably the back of Jim's head. See, I don't know if we can do City Connect though because of the options from like the company. You know what I mean? Like the actual shirt color. I don't think maybe like hot pink or hot blue.
Upgrade the company. Be a man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Trainwreck Radio. I'm with you, Larry Joe. I mean, there's so many good options. Trainwreck Radio is a really good one. Just Trainwreck Radio.
Trainwreck
That's
Radio,
a good one,
Jon and Jim.
Yeah.
Trainwreck Radio.
Dude.
I have to have a train in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. Michael, thanks again, man, for your support. And the super, he says, let's beat LA tomorrow. Are we going to put a lot into this?
You know, it'd be such a savage move by Bob Melvin. He plays nobody tomorrow.
What if he plays Tatis and then Tatis homers and he covers his eye and like does all this crazy stuff?
But wouldn't that be a savage move? He's just like Matthew Batten, go out and play like every position.
I don't think he'll do it because it's at home.
So
you do it on the road. You don't do that. You don't do that in Peoria.
Spring training.
Yeah, but you're at home. You guys got to play.
I get it.
But you're right. I think Machado's already played. I don't know. Maybe Machado or Soto. Maybe one of those two don't play or Bogarts tomorrow.
True. Bogarts might play because he didn't play today, right?
Yeah, then he will play. Hank, thank you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Hank Bragg, thank you for the super. He says, go Padres. Thinking about putting some money on the Padres in 2023 to win the World Series. You guys are very entertaining. What a great season to be a Padres fan. Thank you, Hank.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Hank.
Dude, I mean, what's the value here? What are the odds for the Padres to win the World Series right now?
I saw someone tweet me. They're like plus 500,
plus 550 to win the NL. I think
plus
so 5.5 to
NL,
1,
which is damn good odds.
Yeah, there's not a ton of value there, right? I mean, 5.5 to 1. I guess there's a little bit of value.
What I meant is like it's good odds for the Padres, not for bettors.
Gotcha. Yeah, 5.5 to 1. Yeah, I would say.
That means just that everyone thinks very highly.
Yeah, definitely. What about a golden shower T-shirt, Jim? That's a little aggressive.
It's aggressive. It's also very niche.
Yeah, it's very niche.
We say these things all the time. Jim's an idiot. Is that good? Source, big if true.
Right. Kalo, we do remember this. Remember last year we're like, what's happening? What if this falls apart? What if they don't make the postseason?
Oh, Xander did play today. Sorry.
Come on, man. Clean it up.
Hey, man, I was doing a lot today. I had the game on in the background. I'm doing it's just they scored a million fucking runs, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Fair. Real quick from Murray. What's up, Murray? Got to go to bed, but just want to tell you guys, being a Padres fan in Minnesota, your show is awesome. Thanks, Murray.
Thanks, man.
For hanging out, man.
Appreciate
do
it.
For Padres fans, wherever you are. We've got people internationally. We have viewers from Korea, all across this country, obviously Canada, Mexico. So, yeah, thank you. Plus, interesting here from Michael, plus 150 to win the NL West. So, a slight underdog, right? Lay 10 to win 15 to win the National League West. So, not a favorite right now over the Dodgers, but just a plus 150. I mean, those are half decent odds. And it looks like Peter says plus 1,000. So, 10 to 1. Like you said, Vegas likes the Padres. If they're 10 to 1 right now before the season starts to win the World Series, that's low odds.
Does Jim even watch preseason games? You mean spring training games? Yes, I do.
Yeah, we literally watched the entire game on Friday. So, yeah, we do.
Also, it's spring training, so I don't watch every second of it. And I was doing
Saturday
things.
Wasn't even on.
I was like, dude, a lot of stuff was happening today.
I know.
And once they just, it was just a lot.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, guys. So here's what we ask of you. If you're here live or on replay, and most of you have probably already done it, please subscribe. We have year-round Padres content. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for your support with the supers, with the memberships by clicking the join button down below. Join us tomorrow on the radio when we spend 3 full hours breaking down Manny Machado to the Padres in a lifetime deal. 3 to 6 every single day. San Diego Sports 760, also on the iHeartRadio app. Please support our partners, Mark Nimitz and Farmers Insurance. San Diegan, who loves this channel and loves the Padres. Next time you have a renewal in insurance, you go to Mark. He'll save you $750 or even more. Auto, home, renter's life. Then there's Aura, our buddy Will over at Aura. If you're looking to get healthier, they've got all plant-based nutrition products. If you support this channel, please support Aura, ORA.organic. Link for the merch is down below. My finger wasn't on there. So if you want to check out the new merch, we appreciate that as well. There's another look at it. Jim's an idiot. Source, the back of his head. Is that good? Everything you could possibly want, arguably. And more is available 15% off through tomorrow as well if you're here live or on replay. All right, Jim. What a day. What a time. What a weekend for San Diegans. What a day for Padres fans. For Jim, I'm John. We'll see you tomorrow on the radio at 3 p.m. San Diego Sports 760. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.